Hello and welcome to PME HQ and our November Facebook Live event. As you can see, Peter's just been showing you what I think you'll agree is an absolutely wow selection of cakes in the background. So we've got Samir upstairs and we've got Pat and Peter down here, and you've got myself, Paula McLeod. I'm head of school here at PME, and we'll be taking you through everything today. Now, as you've seen from over at the background, this is what we've got in store for you. And today we're very much going to be giving you lots of ideas, some very exciting ideas, to be able to get you started so that you know exactly where you are and what you need to do with this amazing range of new and exciting geometric cutters. So hopefully you'll all feel inspired like we've all been doing in the team. We've all been going absolutely mad with ideas, and you'll be able to kind of have a little go yourselves as well. So wherever you are in the world, you know we're truly international. We're welcoming you from wherever, whether that's live now or shortly after the event and you've tuned in a little bit later on. So before we get stuck in, I'm just going to show you a little bit about Cake It. Now, some of the cakes that Peter's just been showing you at the back there are actually featured in here. So you can see with these geometrics, you've got some step-by-step guides. So you've got the puzzle cake there. Again, a little bit of inspiration. I'm going to be turning the pages quite quick, Peter, so you're going to have to keep up with me. Flicking over again, you can see we've got Reader's page in Cake It here as well. Some people have actually sent in some of their photos, and what I noticed was this lady here, her name was Debbie, and look, she could have made very good use of the geometric cutters there in her picture with some bunting, which we'll be showing you a little bit later on one of our cakes too. And again, another step-by-step guide, and you've seen that cake just in the background there. A bit more inspiration for what to do there too. And then you've got the last page there. And then just on the back here, now you can see we've got the subscription here, which you can do. Now, it's international, but as far as subscribing goes, what you'll need to do is hop online, and it'll be digital format. So you can kind of find out all the information you need to there, totally free. You don't have to pay anything at all. If you're kind of UK based, you may find that if your local stockist gets a supply of these from us, you'll be able to pick it up. So you'll be able to actually have a hard copy, which is always really good to be able to do. But you can see in the background here, we've got some PME approved locations that are teaching the diploma. So they've got their pictures all in the background here. So we've got Japan in there as well. We've got China, we've got Malaysia. Oh, we've got Enfield in there, but that's one of the team members in there as well. So just get yourselves pictures in there, that will all be fantastic. And you could get your photo in the back page there, which we know you want to do. But we'll have another little look at that a little bit later on. And excuse me for all of my little notes on there for myself as well. Now, first off, we're just going to look at some simple ideas, and then we'll develop them as we go along. Now, first off, we're just looking at something very simple with the hexagonal cutter. Now, if I bring these out, Peter can kind of zoom in, do a bit of zooming in there, Peter. You can have a look at those 3 different sizes of cutter. Now, some of the ideas we've got for you are quite simple as far as that's concerned, but I'm going to spin around this cake here. So Peter's got another kind of view there to have a little look, and it kind of plays with your mind, all the different things you can do, different depths of paste, and that's what you can get. You could do honeycomb, and we've got a little tortoise that you saw earlier as well. We were going to name him, I think Pat said Tim, I said Tommy, I thought of Tony, but nobody that we know. If you're watching Mr. Warren, it's not you, honestly, we're thinking of. So it is very simple to use. Now, the great thing about these is obviously you can see is the number of individual cutouts that you get just by one push into the paste, which is ideal. So if you haven't got time to do one cutter and then move on and do another, we're all very busy people, it's much easier, time saving, and if your hands aren't great, it makes life a lot easier too. I think Mrs. Trumpfield over there's got a shout out already for us. Yay!
I have indeed, Paula.
I'll get prepped while you're gearing up there then, Pat.
But guess where the first one's from?
I think, just a thought, it could be Hong Kong.
It is Hong Kong.
I'm guessing it could be an approved location.
Yeah, you got it.
Could be Peggy and Joseph.
You got
in
it.
Hong Kong, a blossom cake.
Well done, you.
Hello, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget, If you are a trade customer or an approved location, just like Peggy and Joseph, you could be getting out to all your customers and saying hi, getting a shout out and connecting with them as well. People all over the world need to know where you are, so Peggy and Joseph do it every single month. Nice one.
So I've got some more for you, Paula.
Lovely.
So Mildred says hello from the Netherlands.
Oh, hello Mildred in the Netherlands.
And Gina is watching from North Richland Hills in Texas.
Oh, that sounds very exotic actually.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Susan Glennie says hi from Newcastle upon Tyne.
Hello Newcastle.
And Abby AD says hello. And Carol Heath says hi from Dunstable.
Hello to you all. Great that you've tuned in, and thank you, and hopefully you're going to see some really great ideas and have huge fun. Like I say, the ideas will just start rolling, but you'll see how easy it is and you'll think, cool, so pleased I've got that cutter because I don't have to worry about thinking of this, that, the other. Much easier with life. So I've used gum paste, but you could be using marzipan or sugar paste, modelling paste, basically whichever paste you want to. I've rolled it out nice and thin. I've pushed in, I've given it the usual wiggle, so it's in there. You can get a good look at that. Quick brush over there. This is what I like to do. It's just force of habit, I'm afraid. Nice and clean, and then just ready to eject. Now, you can use a brush, you can use your finger, you can use bone tool, ball tool, whatever you want to, just to remove those little pieces. And look at that wonderful selection of cut out bits that we have there, are hexagonal. And then it's just a case of creating a little design. You don't have to, but obviously if that's something that you're kind of like thinking you want a simple flower, it's easy enough to be able to create. And I've just popped that in there. I did a yellow little version for the centre, and that just creates that design. You can add pen in there if that's what you wanted to do, and it's nice and dry, my cupcake, so I can just add in what would be a little stem for the flower. Or if you wanted to and you're working on a much bigger cake, you could perhaps use an actual green hex to create the little stem of the flower in there instead. So again, lots of ideas. And a little bit later on, you'll see we've used them as counters on our wonderful snakes and ladders. Oh, another shout out there. Pat's busy today. You're working well there, Pat.
So I've got another batch here for you. So Valerie says hello from Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Oh, Northern Ireland, that's great. Hello, Valerie.
And Anne Calais says that's great. So I assume she's talking about what she's just seen.
Oh,
Vicky Chang says, hi, teacher Paula.
Hello, Vicky.
I see that in Hong Kong.
Oh.
Can't wait to buy them.
Good.
And Fatima says, hello, I'm from capital of Saudi Arabia called Riyadh.
Oh, lovely.
And yes, and Jean Howard, my first live high. Oh, I think my first live. Yes.
First live. Oh,
sorry,
I'll get
that's
staff
me.
These days.
My first live. Hi from Jean from Bexley Heath.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hello. So again, just some simple ideas. As we move along, we're going to develop on these. So this is just very simple at the moment. And again, we're not too far away from Christmas, so we're just thrown in a very simple idea, maybe for a Father Christmas, something that the children could get involved with. And we're just using a different cutter. So I've got the triangle one here, so I'm just pushing into my gum paste, giving it a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Give it a wiggle. Are you wiggling, Peter?
Not today.
No. Oh, should be wiggling. Got to wiggle. So again, just give it a quick tidy up and a clean up. And then that's ready for action. Again, don't forget, pop that paste away, just in case you need to come back to it. And eject it as you want to. So there we go. And you can go all the way along if you want to, or not, as the case might be. Now, I've just used what is the smallest size cutter of the triangle there. And on this one here, I've used a selection. I've used the larger ones as well, just to give an idea of creating a little Father Christmas. So I've got my two red, and this is actually going to be his beard, that large one there. And I've already cut out a white one, so it's dried up a little bit now. And I'm just going to actually attach a red triangle on the top of it, and that's going to give us the illusion of him with his little hat on. So just going to pop that onto there, and you can add in a little bit of luster onto there if you want to, and if you really wanted to, you could put a little couple of dots for his eyes onto that. Like I say, that is dried, and you can do any version that you want to. I've just made that a little bit wet, so let me just tidy that up a bit. There we go, that's better. So that gives you that idea of a little Father Christmas. You could add in a little pearl on the end, like I've done there, and 2 little dots just across there for his little eyes. Now, how that will be, since I've just covered it in glue, probably not very good. But there we are. So that's Santa ready. Again, great one for the children to get involved with when it comes up to Christmas. Now, this is one that I really, really love, and it's kind of a little bit like origami, that type of idea, but we'll do more about that a bit later on, and that's with a fish. So now in the background you can see over there, and Peter was showing you earlier, and he's just zooming over there now, you can see we've got our fish bowl and our fish floating around the side there, and we've even got one on a wire so that he's just popping out of the bowl. Now, I've used the triangle cutter. So this is this one here, kind of right angle triangle cutter this time, and just created a little design of fish. Now you can use all different sizes, don't have to use just the one size. And again, just the same old, cut into the paste, give it a little wiggle and a twist. We've got a little bit of icing sugar underneath there, and just remove the excess paste, and away we go. There we go. Pop that to one side, give it a little wipe over. Again, use your brush or your finger, whatever works for you, to just pop along and eject all of those right the way along out from there. There we go. Job done. And then we can carry on building our little fish friend. So here we are. So he's going to have a different size tail. So we've put these 2, you've got one in position, which is going to be the nose end. Then just do the repeat flips the other way round. Just pop a little bit of glue onto there. So straight away you can see if you want to leave your little fish just like that, then you can do. And he's just swimming away there. And if you wanted to then kind of create some fins, just grab yourself another 2 triangles and place them in position. So this is where you can get really creative with your little fish. There we are. Same thing with the other little triangle. And just position that in. He's so cute. I love this little fish. He's brilliant, isn't he? Look, there he is. And if you want to, you can add in a pen mark or a little googly eye just on the top there to finish him. So a little bit of piping gel or a little bit of glue, and he's looking very good. So there he is. Again, very simple and very quick ideas. And again, that's what today is very much about, is giving you lots of ideas. We're not going into too much detail on things because there's too much to do. As you can see, we've got a huge selection of things that we've been up to. And as we're kind of going around there as well, all of the cutters that we're looking at using and are using, you can see some more ideas down there. And if I turn them around, we're keeping international as well. So maybe there's somebody out there that might recognise that particular building that's not from the UK and not from London. And we've got another shout out there from Pat. Working well.
And these are definitely not from the UK.
They're not
and
from
they're
the
not
UK.
from London either.
Oh.
So Tamara says, can't wait to get them in Canada.
Brilliant.
And,
we can't wait either.
And Rose says, hi from Dubai in
Hello,
the UAE.
Ooh.
Denise Caldwell says, good morning from Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's
Wow,
USA.
That's brilliant.
And Adita says, hello from Lithuania.
Wow, everybody from everywhere. It's really, really great that you're tuning in.
And there's lots of people watching you.
That's brilliant. Well, that's really good to know. And, you know, we are truly a very international company, and we're always so happy and really are pleased when you're here supporting us. Friends, approved locations, trade customers, fans, whatever it is, it makes us so happy to know that you're there, hopefully gaining some advice, tips and hints and ideas from what we're showing you always. So we'll crack on a little bit. So with this one, now we're going to be looking at using a diamond cutter, and we're just going to create this little kind of a fold, if you like. This is with the larger size of the diamond, so if I bring that one down there, you could then use the medium size. You've got a little bit of a different look. And for the tiny one, so you can work 3 different sizes there for yourself. This is one that we've done earlier. We've put a little bow on the top, and we've just used a strip cutter there just to create those little strips. I'm not going to be doing those, but I've just placed that there in case Peter needs it as a reference and you're not familiar with it. I also think, in actual fact, if you popped a star on the top, you could have a little Christmas tree for yourself. So very relevant with this time of year. So I'm just going to show, hopefully I've cut that just about right. I don't need all of them, so I'm just showing you quickly. And again, just getting you to see how you can use and reuse all of the cutters in very similar ways or in different ways or whatever really works for you. So again, I'll just use the other side of the brush this time. You can see it's very easy to use. There we go. And just bring that in there. I'm going to grab myself some glue. And all we're doing is just folding in our corners. Now I've got icing sugar over mine, which is not what you want to be doing really. So just make sure you haven't got icing sugar all over it. And you can see it's very easy to just pinch and fold that in. And that creates that very pretty, cute looking little design. And then we can just add that straight onto our cupcake in position, like so. Carry on, and as you kind of carry on, you're doing one less each side each time. A little bit of dust over the top of that, and a little bow just onto the top kind of completes that as you need it to. So again, sticking, excuse me, with the folding theme now as well, we've got just on the side here, I'm going to spin that round, you can see before we move on, that's a little dress. So again, it gives you an idea of what you could be doing with those shapes. If you're not putting it on a cupcake, you might, for instance, choose to be putting that onto a full cake. I'll scoop my bits of paste out of the way. So again, sticking with the folding theme, and maybe if Peter could home in on this one here. Sorry, Peter, we're getting you to move around a lot today. You're kind of working
That's
well.
okay.
Working well. That's good, because we're not finished yet, and there's going to be a lot more walking around as well. So you can see kind of an origami style. Just this one in the middle, Peter. Yeah. Have you got that? Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong bit. I thought you had the wrong thing. There we go. So we're just going to grab some green. I'm going to pop a little bit of icing sugar underneath, just so that I can spin that round, move my cupcake out the way there, and bring this cupcake in. So just a simple idea for a star in an origami type of theme this time. So again, lots of different ideas that are going to be suitable for lots of different people, enjoying different crafts as well, that you'll be able to kind of replicate within your cake designs, which is ideal. I think it's really good when you're able to do that. So this opens up that. And again, you can use it with all the different sizes of cutter. And I think Pat's got a shout out, so while she wanders over here, we'll just show you this folding to create what is on the top there, one of those little sections. So just a little kind of fold down.
Okay.
Go for it, Pat.
Okay, so to begin with, Lafleur says a shout out from SV Caribbean.
Ooh.
Just finished 2 of your PME diploma courses in Cosham. Excellent stuff, I have learnt.
Oh, that's really good.
Mikhail Park says call from Oklahoma in the USA.
Oh, that's good.
And Shanaz says, hello dear, so happy you're back to demonstrate something new. Lots of love from Dubai.
Oh, isn't that lovely? That's really, really good. Thank you. Well, I'm not very happy with what I'm demonstrating here at the moment, but there we are. There we go. So we've done a little kite, so we've done a fold. I haven't done my kite very well, I have to be honest, but you're kind of pinching into the centre, that's better, just to get that crease down there. See, I thought I was doing well keeping my paste prepped and ready. So you can kind of see what we've done, or what I've tried to do, and this will actually fit in just here as another kind of prong off the star. I don't know, what would you call that on the star? That little section. Suggestions. So that sits into here. Now you can also see we've got these added extra little bits that kind of make up the centre. I've got a little orange one there that will just sit in there. So you'll be able to pop that into glue and then just bend and fold it. And that's just with the little triangle cutter, the right angle one. And I've got one here that I had earlier, very conveniently. So you can just bend that into half, just give it a little pinch, and that gives that suggestion of the origami. And then that's ready. Once it's dried, it can just sit in position there. So that's your shining star ready to go. I think I needed a green in there, but I've got him dried here, but he's probably a little bit too dry now, so we'll swap them around for you. So a little bit of glue, and that can just sit there ready. But again, lots of different designs you could be doing with your origami there. We don't know what they all might be, but we've seen a few. But that's, again, just to give you some really good ideas. And then I tried to do a paper plane as well yesterday, and I was going to throw it at Peter, but unfortunately it's got a bit squashed. But you see all the different things you can do. And that was with the square cutter that we were working with. I've also got here, and I won't go through cutting all of this out, but you can see, again, using the diamonds, that you can kind of very easily just create that cube illusion that is so very much in at the moment. These have dried, but you can see how you can do that just with your 3 different diamonds. And again, you've got 3 different sizes of cutter there. I think you will have seen the cake that's just around over that side that Peter's running to now, fast and furiously. He's like, where am I going now? Well, we're moving across this way now, Peter. No rest for the wicked. And we've got a question as well. Go on then, Pat.
You're making me run now.
Yeah, everybody's running apart from me.
The question's from Salma, Paula.
Oh, okay,
and
Salma.
She's really asking, is it with modelling paste? So
I'm using gum paste at the moment, but you can use your modelling paste, and you can use ordinary sugar paste as well, marzipan, candy paste, modelling paste, all of those type of things. These cutters work well with all of that. You eject just by pushing through with either your finger, bone tool, ball tool, soft end of the brush or the firm end. If you're using something like a sugar paste, you're better off using the soft end because it won't mark it. But any of those you're absolutely fine with. And we've been using the cutters with all of those pastes as well. So hopefully you'll have great success with those. Now, also I've been using the square cutter, so Peter maybe could just show you as well before we totally move on this really fun thing that we did with the squares, which is what we've just been using a little while ago over here. You can see we've used a combination of the squares to do the actual board itself, and then the little triangles we've used on those little fun snakes. We use the hexagonal counters, or the hexagonal cutter for the counters, and the small square to make that dice just up there. And what Peter doesn't know is that we're going to have a little game. And I'm going to roll the dice, and I'm going to see how far he can actually move his cutter. And him and I are going to have a game together. So I'm going to roll the dice. I don't know how long this will last, because I only made the dice yesterday. Okay, you got 3 there, Peter. Are you green or pink?
Let's go green.
Okay, so that's 3 for you. That's it.
Sure.
I'm going to see where I'm going to get to. I'm going to see who's going to... I'm 4, so I'm ahead of you already. And I'm on a ladder, so I'm going up to 15, so... I'm in the lead, hooray! But again, this is just a little bit of a hint of some real fun that you could actually have. So if you've got a child's party coming up, or maybe you're just a board game fanatic, you could be into drafts or one of those other many board games. It's very easy to be able to get the look that you want. And what fun would that be for a young child for their party? I'd be thrilled. Hint, hint, hint for my birthday in May. There we go. We've got a shout out as well, which maybe if we start just as we're kind of easing our way along this way. Yep, you're fine, Pat.
okay.
Yep, it's a good time. I'm actually just getting my snake ready. If I just tell everybody very quickly, I've got Rice Krispie treat instead of the mix that we did, which was the pop mix, and instead of using a cake, I've just scrunched it up to get my shape for my snake. There we go, that's it. That's what I needed to explain. That's lovely. Thanks, Pat.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Mikkel Park says, love these.
They're brilliant, aren't they? They are really good.
And Salma says, hi all, shout out to me to
Shout
please
out.
lots of YouTube videos, Sal's cakes in bakes.
So that was Thelma, was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Selma.
Hello,
Yeah.
Selma.
And Carmen says, awesome. Andrea says this is cool, and Tina Cooper says great ideas as usual, love it, and she sends you a kiss.
Oh, isn't that lovely? All kisses and hugs back from everybody here to you as well. That's really good to know you're all tuned in. So I'm just kneading up some sugar paste, and this is going to be kind of carrying on the loop around my snake. Now, Peter's already shown you the other snake just in the background. He may or may not go round to have another look. I'm going to leave that with him. He's headed off that way. There we go. So I'm just, while he's doing that, I'm just rolling the sausage out at the moment. So that's a good thing for you to be looking at that instead of this. There we go. And then he can come back at any point in time. So I've just kind of like elongated my sugar paste into a very long kind of worm or snake. And before I do anything else with it, I'm just going to test to see if I've got too much, too little, etc. and how it's going to go round. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. I'm going to leave it like that, actually, instead of interfere with it, because that's going to be fine. But I'm just going to shape the head. So I'm just going to push that down into a bit of a point, flatten it down a bit, just to kind of give us a bit of a snake shape going on there. And then I'm just going to use, well, you can either use your cutting wheel, or you can use your sharp end of your leaf veining tool, whatever you would like to do, and then just kind of create a bit of a mouth going on there. And then I'm just going to twist him round to me, sorry Peter, go around the other side. So again, it's up to you what you want to do. So I think that looks quite snaky. There we go. And a couple of nose holes, in they go. He's a fun snake, he's not scary at all. And we can do a little tongue in a second as well. So I'm just going to plonk him like that onto the top. He'll just rest quite nicely there, I think. And we can give him some eyes, and they can just push in to the paste. So I'm going to add in a little bit of glue. Got a small brush. Yep, I'll go with that one instead. Okay. So you okay there, Peter? You're getting everything you need to there? Peter's got he's got a new gadget, haven't you, Peter? Peter's got a boy's toy there. He's got a holder for the phone. I'll just share that with you all. I don't know if I meant to have shared that or not, but I have. Hey, look, there we go. There we go. So we've got one very happy little snake. There he is. Now, we can do a little tongue on there if we want to as well. Got a little bit of red, and I'll just very quickly cut that out so as you've got a bit of that info that you need. So cutting wheel, just a little thin strip, nothing technical or difficult. Oh, unless you're me and you're kind of messing it up with your, there we go. And then just kind of create the little prong just by cutting in with the cutting wheel. Just take that bit off there. There we go. That's better. And doop. There we go. It's finally out. And then that can just attach into his mouth. Now, any gaps you've got, don't worry about that, because we're just going to add in a little snake out of there. So Peter's already showed you the little snake across the way. So just pop that in there. That should sit there quite well. There we go. Now, the ends of the cutters, these little triangle cutters, you can use as his fangs as well. But we're just going to use these to create some shapes going all the way around him, which is really good fun. I'm going to use green. Again, that's gum paste that I'm working with to cut my triangles out. But again, you can use sugar paste if you want to, or if this is something you're doing in marzipan or candy, that's all fine as well. No problem at all. Give it a little wiggle, 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 wiggle. Get your wiggle on. Do you want another roll of the dice, Peter, to see if you can overtake me?
Go on then. Where is it?
Go on then. It's just up there. Peter's going to roll the dice while I'm doing this. Go on then. 6. I think that was for me, was that? No, it was for Peter. I think you're cheating now. I didn't really see all of that. There we go. So that's just going there. So where's that put you?
Still behind.
Oh, that's all right then. That's okay. Okay, so then we can just add, and again, it's not showing you all of the details this week at all. It's just giving you lots of ideas to be carrying on with, so that at home you can be getting stuck in with these ideas of your own. Just tap that in there. Any of these triangle ones actually work very well for the snake ideas. You can have them going any which way round. I think that one's gone in upside down, but not to worry. Anything goes. There we are. And then you work all the way round, but already you can see, we should be able to see, that's going to be very effective for our snake as you're going around all the way up there. So you can do any size or any shape you want to, so it could be very small or it could be very, very large, which is brilliant, and that's the great thing about that. And just Rice Krispie treat, very easy to do. I think Samir was going to kind of have information on that for you, but basically it's just marshmallows, butter, marshmallow butter and some Rice Krispies. So that's nice and easy, and again, nice and quick for you to be able to work with. So, some of you that joined earlier, and if you've just joined, you may have seen we were talking about K-Kit as well. And one thing I didn't mention on that is that it's www.kkit.education, and that's the online, it's digital, so you can either subscribe if you're kind of in the UK, or you can go online and you can get all of the issues. How many issues are there now, Pat? There must be 30. 13, I was going to say 30. That's a lot. So there's 13 issues available to you online for free that you can download, and that you can then get tips and hints and ideas and look at the step-by-steps for, which is absolutely brilliant. So don't forget, you can do that for free. All of that information available to you online. So moving along now as well, we're going on to show you some of the jigsaw ideas too. And this is where Pat's going to come running along now. She's running along. There she goes. She is actually running. Pat is running. So Pat's now popping into the freezer for me. Thank you, Pat.
No, I'm not popping in the freezer.
No, Pat's not in the freezer, honestly. We've talked about freezing you, haven't you? But we're definitely not going to do that. So basically, we've just got a printed sugar sheet here, and Pat's just popping that into the freezer now. We're not supplying these, so don't go rushing in and think that this is something we're supplying, because we don't. You'd need to either order that online with your local stockist or go to your local shop to be able to get hold of your chosen sugar sheet design. This is just one that we've gone with that we thought would be very nice because it's flamingos, and it matches also our flamingo that we've done here in the background in squares. So that's kind of looking like patchworky with the square. We've also got like a Minecraft sword over there, which we thought was quite fun and funky as well. Tried to cover all sorts of things again, so this is why we thought going with the puzzle would be a little bit of fun and a little bit different. So we've got our happy flamingos, and I'm just going to need some sugar paste out. And I'm using the largest of the cutters, so that's this one there that Peter can have a look at. And I've put the other two sizes just out there, so that's the medium one for you and the small. And I've just got 3 selections there, so you can kind of see the examples of those cutters there. And the cakes there as well. Oh, it's quite hot in here, isn't it, today? I've put the aircon on as well, but I'm kind of cooking a little bit today, not to worry. So just kneading out my sugar paste, a little bit of icing sugar going underneath that for now, and a little bit of rolling. So do you want to roll the dice for me, Peter, while I'm doing this then, and see if I can overtake you, please? My dice is holding out, hasn't fallen apart just yet. Oh, I've got a 6 now, so I'm still winning. I'm still ahead.
It's definitely fixed.
I think the dice could be very loaded, to say the least. Oh dear, helps to be mad to work here.
I think you're going to win this one.
Do you think? Correct answer, Peter. So there we go, just rolling that out and just making sure that it will actually be a big enough size for my sugar sheet to go on to. And this is a good idea because, you know, if you're putting a cake together, it can just look like a very nice framed puzzle or something like that, not necessarily. So Pat's just moving away from the freezer now. She's going back there in a second. Any second now's good, Pat, actually.
Okay.
Now, we've just popped it in the freezer only for a couple of ticks, just so that it's very easy for that sheet to just pop away and off from the backing. And it depends on your sugar sheet. I'm not saying that's what you always have to do, but it's just what we're choosing to do at the moment. That's lovely, thanks Pat. So you can see now, that's just come straight off there. And I'm just placing it straight on top of that. Giving it a rub, I'm not using any glue or anything like that. But the heat of my hand just rubbing around onto that will just automatically get that to stick onto the sugar sheet. Yay, there we go. Just a little bit more icing sugar underneath to make sure I've got that where it needs to be. Oh, Pat's got some shout outs. There we go.
Okay, Paula.
Okay.
So this first one's from Butong. And
Butong? Okay.
Butcon. I'm sorry, I'm probably not pronouncing that very well.
Never mind,
Pat.
Pat.
But the important thing is, they say it's totally fun watching you guys.
Oh, that's really good. Well, we're a fun crew here at PME. We're fun people to be with.
And Salma is still with us.
Oh, that's good.
And she says, try not to land on any snakes. Yeah.
We'll take that advice. We'll do our best. I'm hoping Peter will land on a snake and that I'll win, though. That's the problem.
And maybe when you finish, Paula, you can just do a walk past at the back.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, and then everybody can see, because we really have so many ideas with this one. There was absolutely no way we were going to be able to do any more. We've got bunting and silhouettes and just so much going on. There's a prism over there as well that I was really chuffed to bits with. Rubik's Cube. I think I got one of the colours slightly wrong, though, so don't anybody judge me. That I put my colours on back to front. Samir noticed straight away, because that's the sort of thing Samir would notice. So I've just popped out those pieces there, and Peter can show you those there. Lovely straight edge that I've got there, which is really useful about these cutters, you see. And then I can flip it round there, and then I just need to kind of decide whether I'm going to go up that way or come down that way to kind of realign myself. So I can kind of come down this way or up that way. I'm going to go up that way. There we are. So sometimes you don't get it quite as it needs to be, but it just depends what eye you've got. It's all job done for you, really. It's not difficult at all. It makes life very simple. And one of the other things that this is great for, of course, is writing a little love message on, perhaps, for that special person in your life. Like, I love you. Maybe at a wedding or something, you could kind of do a bit of writing on there, or a party. All good fun. I'm just going to move that over there so you can kind of see me push that out onto here. There we go. And then we're going to make sure that all our pieces fit in together as they need to, which is what I'm just going to do. And then I'm going to just add in another couple in a second. So I'm just going to join these up so that I can see exactly where I'm at and what I'm doing. This is the fun bit. Sometimes you get an odd little bit that goes in there as well. Joins the party, so to speak. There we go. And then this is where you just need to make sure that you've got yourself aligned correctly. So that's my little chap up there. My little flamingo. Look, they're in love. They're having fun. There we go. And no, that one doesn't go there, Paula. Where does that one go? No, that comes up this way. So that bit goes up to there. And this is where you can then see all your pieces and what you have, like so. And, oh, can't figure out, it goes to the side, that's why. Thought I'd lost a leg or something. Now at the top, you can either come across and just remove those ends there and just swivel that in. So it just sits into that section, only if you want it to look straight. But it's actually quite nice to have it a little bit higgledy-piggledy across the top, you know, with kind of the bits of the jigsaw sticking out. And then just for these two little sections here, I'm just going to cut into here. So all you need to do is just realign for those two bits, which will fit nicely. And I've still got that nice straight edge just there for myself. And this is really good because you can just cut some extra random pieces, if that's what you want to do, and just then stick them randomly round the cake as well, or up the sides. And then just push those out. There we are. And then we're just ready to add in those extra pieces, look. Oh, it's so good, I love this. It is so much fun. And again, you can leave that like that if that's what you want to do, or you can just chop those bits off and just swivel it in and around. and this can go onto your cake or your board. You can do this as a framed jigsaw for somebody. I'll just spin that round because it's upside down for you. And there you go. How much fun is the flamingos? There they go. They look great. They're so cute. So hopefully you've all really enjoyed that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get Peter running again round this side, and we're just going to have a little walk through. Oh, we're back again. We lost you just for a little bit there. So if you have just joined us back again, we're just having a little walk through here so that you can kind of see what we've been looking at. We have a truly wow lineup of cakes here. Some of these cakes you'll recognise if you've already been lucky enough to buy some of the geometric cutters. There's some of the cutters, the cakes that we use to show off those cutters for you. We've also got Cake It here, which we've been talking about, just trying to make sure that you're aware that it is a totally free magazine that you might be able to pick up from your local stockist, or you can go online and you can download and have a look at those step-by-step guides that are all on there for free. Lots of hints and ideas there for you. So Peter's just showing you what we used. We made another flamingo with the square cutter there. So if you're somebody who's into your quilt or your crafting, that could be really good fun. Rubik's Cube there as well that I put together. The team have been making all of these cakes. I did get my colours wrong on that, but we won't worry too much about that. I'm keeping that one out the way. Got the jigsaw puzzle there. Great for children, for babies. That's absolutely wonderful if it's for a christening or something like that. Looks really good against the side of the cake. There's Snake Mark 1 in the background there. So again, you can kind of see where I was saying about any gaps. Don't worry about it. Just pop an extra little snake in there. It just makes it a little bit quirky and a lot of fun. We used the diamond and the triangle on that one. Just snip off the end of the triangle to make the little teeth there as well, the little bites. There he is. He looks quite cute there. He's very photogenic, that snake, I think, don't you, Peter?
Yeah, unlike me.
Well, we don't know because we haven't seen you yet. So. And then we've got in the front here, it's actually a little dinosaur. She hasn't got a name yet, but everybody's calling her Nessie. The only thing is she is in the grass, she's not in the water, but she's happy. She's quite happy being called Nessie, I think. She's got no problems with that. So again, you can see triangle cutter, but you could be using the right angle cutter here or the diamond cutter. Again, loads of different uses there. You can just mix and match them up across the board. Got the flamingos again, because I really liked the flamingos. So that's with the small cutter there. So you can get a much smaller look if you want to, as opposed to a bigger jigsaw puzzle. Lovely little fishies on the fish bowl there. We've got one jumping out at the top there. Just give it a little flick and it goes boing. There we go. So again, you can use any sizes there that you want to. I like the blue there as well. That's looking good. Again, it's all very easy to do. And one of my favourites is the little hedgehog there. So it doesn't... oh no, it's not a hedgehog. It's a tortoise. Oh, we'll move on from that. Anyway, nonetheless, it still looks pretty good with the hex cutter. That's the large one that we've used on there. At least I can get that bit right, eh? So he's just sneaking out from there. Now, what have we got else? What else have we got there, Peter? Kind of a Minecrafty looking sword there as well. So a lot of people are into that and building these worlds, I think it is. Samir was trying to explain it all to me the other day. Prism there as well. So again, just another kind of look, something slightly different. Shall I lift up and you can see the other side of it? So it's got a good weight to it as well. There we go. Again, some more of the cakes that have been used in Cake It as well. So that's where you can see those step-by-step guides in the latest one. That's issue 13, I think it is, that's available at the moment. So you can just hop online and get some more ideas there. And some more of the cakes that we've used in Cake It again. This one, which is kind of a winter cake. And also that have been used for the covers, again, for the... I forgot what it's called now. What's the packaging? That's the word, packaging. My brain's dying, I think, on me now. There we go. So they're all looking really, really good. I'm going to have another roll of the dice over here and see if I can totally thrash Peter. I've got a 3. I'll let you have another roll as well, Peter. Where am I? Am I this way? And I'm going 1, 2, 3. That's me there. Shall we roll for you again? Have another roll, Peter?
Come on, then.
6.
6 again.
That's a cheat. That's cheaty. You're
Not that it's doing
cheating.
me any good.
So how many is that? Let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I've won. We haven't got time
Yeah.
to finish the game, Peter. So looks like I've won. Anyhow, we've had some great fun here today, and we really hope that you have too. But amongst everything and all the chaos that seems to be up here as I look down now, we hope you've got lots of really fun ideas to be able to look back on as well. There is no end to it, and I'm sure you'll have lots of other ideas of your own. And whatever you do, don't forget, don't call your tortoise a hedgehog when it is actually a tortoise. Anyway, thank you so much for watching us, and we look forward to seeing you again for the next Facebook Live event. From everybody here in the team, thank you and goodbye. Bye.